Shout my hip hop since 1987 niggas. HipHopSince1987.com.
Welcome to the Untitled Podcast. My name is Kanisha. We are here live from Hip Hop Since 1987. I'm here with a few of the most handsome men I've ever met in my life.
Yeah,
that's about to really, my illustrious friends, that's about to really bless your lives with some really entertaining and educational and informational type of situations. So we're called Untitled because you never know what's going to come out our mouth or what we're going to talk about. So before I go any further, I want y'all to introduce yourselves.
I am DJ E, Mr. Influential. That's it. Just remember, Mr. Influential. I'm an influence. That's all. And to my left is
it's your boy D Kel. You know what I'm saying? I do my thing all day, every day. That's it. You know what I'm saying? That's all you need to know. You know what I mean?
You need to know. That's all we got to know.
I mean,
because I must know.
If you didn't know, now you know.
That's baby.
And there it is. And there it is.
Yeah. So someone wanted to book a DJ. How would they get in touch?
If they want to book a DJ, you can get me at, I'm going to get you straight to my phone number, 609-743-0226, okay? I like social media. You can find me on social media on my Facebook page is Eric Rainey, my real government name. That's Rainey, R-A-I-N-E-Y. Other than that, it's a long Instagram, DJ_E_Mr_Influential, spelt with an E. There you go.
You just get y'all a verbal business card.
Okay, exactly. Well,
that's it.
Look, if you can't find them at this point, then you don't need to find them. If you don't know now, you know.
Baby.
Exactly.
All right, DKL, where can people find you at?
People can find me at DKel Music. That's DKELMUZIK Music. You know what I'm saying? And on all social media platforms. That's Facebook. You know, follow the fan page, and on Instagram, Twitter as well. You know, I'm more or less on Instagram. You can catch me intimately there. I like that platform.
Mm-hmm. Yes, I like that one too.
You get to show yourself off. I also do music production. You know what I'm saying? We could put a song together from start to finish. We can do that for you.
Did I tell you that I sing?
Oh, I hear. I hear the octaves going. You know what I'm saying?
You know, I be singing in the background.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? And singing in the background. Listen, that's y'all singing. We come from a Martin generation.
Yeah,
exactly.
We love that show. That's my favorite sitcom of all time.
Me too.
Do you can still sing a little bit?
Let me find out. Look, see, you need to be the bass and Boys the Men because they act like they ain't gonna never talk about it.
Hey, yo, what happened to him? The dude the bass.
He was on. No, he
didn't die.
He's still alive. Wait, if you ain't seen him, then he did.
Oh, my bad.
Yeah.
No, he's still alive.
I'm sorry, world. I had put Muhammad Ali away before he even went away.
Look, you done tucked him all the way in. It's like, damn, it was 87. He good.
Remember, you was pissed. He was like, how you just gonna put Muhammad Ali in the grave? I was like, my bad. I thought he was dead.
I ain't seen him in a while. Like, it's been 2 weeks. I thought he was dead.
That ain't how you do it. But where has he been though?
All right, so what had happened was, you know, I don't want to speak out of terms because I feel like speaking against a Philly artist is blasphemous, considering that I'm from Philly.
Yeah.
So what had happened was when he left the group, he ended up because he was on Yana Fix My Life.
Okay.
So things wasn't really going too well. As you can see, he didn't really have like
that's previously happens.
There was no solo career for Mike, so he wasn't on. He wasn't really doing anything musically, and he was battling health issues because he always had issues with his back, scoliosis.
Scoliosis.
Yeah, remember that came from back in the day. That wasn't for cute. That was like I'm dying.
The operation or not?
Yeah.
Oh, he ended up getting it. Oh, okay.
So when he was on the Yana, he was like, you know, they didn't understand was that he was sick, and a lot of times that when it was time to perform or practice, that he would be like attitudinal or he would cancel or not show up. So because he didn't explain that to them, they took it as, so you don't want to be in Boys to Men no more. Okay, well, although we've come
at the time was like, I can't break dance no more.
Yeah, but I guess he didn't know how to use his words. And at the time they were young men, and he was trying to not come off as being sick. I guess he was in denial about it too, because he had to. He
didn't want to seem weak,
right?
But you young and black and be sick, you don't want to seem weak. Fun fact though, I just found this out. around the corner from me, and literally in walking distance of my house.
Yeah.
When Boyz II Men made it, the house that Wanye bought his mother is right around the corner from me.
Okay.
Is they still there? Because I need to go over there and start singing on the door.
No, nobody lives there. I actually know the people who live there. I do know the people who live there personally, but that is directly around the corner from me.
That's what's up.
Yep,
man.
it's a nice house too. Real nice house.
Oh, that's what's up.
Yeah, he bought it for his mom. You know what I mean?
Oh.
Yeah.
Hopefully I'll buy my mama. No, my mom's house better than mine. Hopefully she buy me a house one day. She not only is my mom's house better than mine, but currently she's my landlord. I live in her old house.
Oh, okay.
So that whole situation just switched up. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
She's gonna buy you one. You know what I mean?
You know, go ahead. No, go ahead and say what you say. I'm sorry.
Nah, but I was just saying, you know, shout out to everybody out there. I was just thinking, you know what I'm saying? Because I, you know, life's been changing a lot for me, man. Brock heard me say something when I first came in here. That kind of had him like, word? You know what I'm saying? So, so you know, with all that being said, you know, I got a question for y'all.
Yeah.
Because I've been getting deep in the conversation lately.
Okay.
If you're dealing with someone new, right?
Yeah.
How comfortable are you with them telling you their past sexual experiences?
So we're going right to that right now.
Damn, I thought I was going to.
Yeah. I just.
So no Vaseline, huh? All right, we just going to go here then. All right.
I just want to know.
You want to know,
what I'm
that's on your heart, huh?
It's just something that was there, you know.
So I'm listening to you, and I'm gonna let.
In detail, though, they're going into their past sexual experiences in detail.
I'm gonna let the lady answer first.
Yeah. Well, as a lady, I firmly believe that you should always lie. You should never tell the whole truth about who you've been with, because I don't think men can handle it.
Okay.
If you say anything over 2, they be like, "Oh my gosh, she's I really and if you got 2 kids and you got 2 baby fathers, they willing to overlook that on the strength of the kids. But, like and then I think the whole am I a hoe if I've been with too many people. The term hoe is so subjective to me. Like it's not. It's no definitive, right? Because I feel like a hoe is not how many people she slept with, but the who she slept with. Yeah. Like you can only sleep with 2 people, but if one of them was my goddamn baby father and you my sister, then bitch, use a hoe. So I don't care if he was your first, bitch, use a hoe.
That's taboo. That's forbidden fruit, right?
There. But if you've been with 100 people, but they all on your time, on your terms, and you know y'all got to understand y'all grown, consenting adults. I don't give a fuck about that.
So with that being said, I'm gonna come with this question right here. Have you been a hoe before?
Hoe is subjective.
Remember the lie. That's what it is.
What exactly do you mean?
Have you met any of those terms that you just laid?
No.
I just
now for me, I believe in doing unto others if you would have them do unto you.
So you would hurt the hoe.
Look, I feel like you're answering these questions like a politician. You know what I mean?
If it doesn't fit.
You must quit.
So here's the thing.
No, I've never. But to finish the question, because I don't want people to leave this conversation thinking like I knew that bitch was a hoe.
There we go.
That blonde hair and that lipstick. I know. I might wear a hoe's uniform, but I'm not a hoe. All right, so
ain't nothing wrong with the uniform. I like it.
So I've never been that person again, because I've always treated people the way I wanted to be treated, and I take my relationships with my sisters or with my girlfriends who are like my surrogate sisters very seriously. I've been friends with everybody that I'm friends with now. If you're not my blood sister, you've been my friend for at least 20 years.
I got you.
So I don't do crazy shit to people, because I don't want nobody doing no crazy shit to me. Because I would kill a bitch, and I would understand if a bitch wanted to kill me if I did some shit.
Makes sense.
So,
gotcha.
Just because all my friends are borderline crazy. So considering that I value my life and value my friendships, no, I've never been a hoe.
All right, got you.
So you said in detail.
Yeah.
How now give me the question again. How do you feel about
if your partner, you know, you're dealing with somebody.
You see how I managed to manipulate y'all off the topic?
It seemed that way. Like he was coming at me like I was coming at somebody.
I do this.
Nah, but honestly, it's what, like, are you comfortable with the person that you're with, the person that you're dealing with? Is someone new? Talking about their sexual encounters in detail with other people in the past.
Well, to be honest with you,
if you ask about it, you can ask about it.
Don't ask a question you're not ready to hear.
If I ask you the question, I really want the detailed answer, but I don't really believe that I've got the detailed
answer
ever in life with a lot of things.
And are you comfortable?
You're like, bitch has been lying to me for a minute now.
Yeah,
past experiences in detail.
Yeah, who me?
Yeah, are you comfortable giving?
If you
want to
know, I'm gonna tell you.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
It's a couple times he told me a couple stories. I'm like, well, goddamn, Eric.
I'm gonna tell you. Like, if you want to know, I'm gonna fucking tell you because you know, the world gonna look at me different because that's usually a secret with me. I'm not a plain dude when it comes time for that type of shit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I like to, I grew up watching porn. I'm just giving it a rip. You know what I mean?
Me too.
You see what I'm saying? That's what I'm saying. Like,
don't tell my mom.
I'm into a lot of that shit. My mom caught me a bunch of times.
Yeah.
May she rest in peace. I love my mama to death. I'm just saying she's going to get that goddamn tape from that boy. He got in there.
Oh,
and
man.
then my pop come and get the tape.
I smell smoke in the room.
He said, man, what you doing, man? You got. I said, nigga, it was yours. I took it for. I saved you. How about that?
I ain't tell you to beat the skin off your dick.
Yeah, I tell you, I take the bullet for you, nigga. She think it's mine and it's really yours. I stole it from you.
Oh shit!
But the fact of the matter of the whole situation, what I like to do, I don't mind if you go into detail. But what I've always do is I kind of somehow lead the conversation and finagle them to tell me like what might have been going on in life.
Yeah.
And it gives me a timeline on when you was doing that shit.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, and she be like, yeah, I was young and I was going through some stuff, so I was drinking a lot, and it's like, oh, that was your whole phase.
Yeah. Or it's be like I remember like, yeah, so y'all used to, what was the crazy shit? Boy, I remember we cut school one day, and then we went to my house, and I'm just using that for example. We did this, and that, and then 9/11 happened. So my mom came over. Oh, so
it's like,
this
so you was
this
like
was 2001. You was sucking.
Oh, so you was 14.
That's what it is. Okay, that's how I do.
Yeah, exactly.
Then I even get a person to say some shit, and they'll slip up and say, like I remember one of my exes one time. It wasn't even about a sexual thing. She real quick. She just hit me with this. She was like, so. I was like, yeah, so you do your job. Anybody ever, men ever flirt with you? So he was like, yeah, and she did hair. He was like, yeah, I was shaping him up, and he was like, one day I could probably come back and get another trim. He's like, yeah, but I'm talking about another trim. She said, so I said, what happened to him? Well, I heard he came back, and when he came back, he had asked for the black girl, and the what's her name did his hair. And then he never came back after that. I said, well, you realize when I first started fucking with you was the only black girl working there.
Yeah.
So when the other black girl came, bitch, you was flirting with this nigga while you was with me.
Yeah,
I always set you up for the kill.
I see what you did there.
You
know what I'm saying? I see what you did there.
Out from what you
that was a Jedi mind trick you just pulled there.
I do shit like that a lot.
I think for me,
because I remember timelines.
I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
Like, I don't mind answering questions if A, I feel like you're mature enough to handle the answer.
Yeah.
B, I don't regret nothing I did.
Exactly.
And if it's like topical, like if it's like, well, have you ever had a threesome?
Yeah.
And it's like quite actually.
Yeah.
So what kind of threesome are we talking?
Yeah.
Never been with two men until now.
Okay.
Well, and that's not a non-sexual. It's a menage a pod.
Menage a pod.
Is that the name instead of Untitled?
Menage a pod.
That's dope.
By the way, this is our first show because I do this. This is our first show at the Collective.
Yo, but look, let me get my perspective on it.
Yeah, I need that.
I don't give a shit.
Me neither.
Let me tell you, and the reason I'm gonna tell you is because if you actually, and especially me, if I actually am dealing with a person in that manner, I'm dealing with them. Like it's going beyond just the physical. It's mind, body, and soul now. You see what I'm saying? So when in that manner, if you going to tell me details about any intimate relationship, I'm going to want to know. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And if it doesn't intimidate me, it doesn't make me feel like if I ever seen the guy walking by, oh, this motherfucker talking to his people like, oh, he all lovey-dovey with her.
Oh, that's your cousin.
But my dick was all in her mouth. You know what I'm saying? Like, it doesn't put it in that, because whatever, like I said, if the connection,
you know what, I ain't never seen you like that either.
Yeah,
You're right.
So, if
Menage Pod does brought out something.
if the connection is mind, body, and soul, that doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Right.
So, in all actuality, our sexual experience is going to be different.
Yeah.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So that connection is going to be different. So even so, like me, you talking about, you very like that's what you do.
Yeah.
And the sexual, very sexual in what you're saying. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Me, I got, and it came from older people talking to me. It came from, just being kind of bored with the regular sexual experience.
Exactly. The boringest place is the bedroom.
There are things
Facts.
there are things that can be done to spice up the situation. Now I'll put out one. You know what I'm saying? Like when I first read 50 Shades of Grey.
Yeah.
I thought when I was reading the book, one of the dopest things that he actually did in there that wasn't in the movie, because that movie totally watered down the book. You know what I'm saying?
Shit, let me get the book then.
So it was a certain situation where he came to her college dorm or wherever apartment she was living in with her roommate. He because the roommate was dealing with his brother. He went in her room. They talked for a minute. He pulled out his tie and something else and tied her to the bed, butt naked, blindfolded, and then left the room. You see what I'm saying? Now imagine her mind state. She's tied, thinking she's about to immediately have a sexual encounter.
Yeah, all you gotta do is touch her now. She nutting all over the place.
Exactly. Then leaves the room. She hears the door close. She doesn't know what's going on. She's tied up. She honestly, she liked him so much that she trusts him.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So
Right. I think that was
a big trust factor has to be involved in that.
Oh yeah,
Right.
sex period though. It
So-
should be in sex
So
period.
just the fact, like you said, just the fact of him leaving out the room now, when he actually comes back in, she don't know if he left or just opened the door closed. Now he might.
I'm
close
be
the door.
thinking he done let the homie.
Yeah, exactly.
never know.
What the hell is this?
Exactly.
Where the hell you at?
Now-
See, look, black girls can't play that game.
Now, like I said, it has to be a trust factor. So now, one touch on her body, it doesn't matter where he touches her.
Yeah.
She's leaking all over the
Yep.
place.
Yep.
Her senses are like,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? That's just perspectively speaking from the sexual encounter.
Yeah. But the biggest thing was trust.
Exactly, trust.
the biggest
one. Tell me if two men slept with you. Tell me if you slept with a woman and a man. Tell me if you just sucked a random
But
dude's
see,
dick.
you're an outlier.
You know
Like
what
you're
I'm
not.
saying?
You're the exception, not the rule.
Yeah, that won't bother
Because
me either.
for the most part, though, like being a woman and being in the dating game, and like for the most part, people either can't handle the answer, or don't believe the answer anyway.
Yeah.
So that's why, like I always say, lie, because I do believe that lying is the best policy.
Yeah.
However, like in situations like I said, like if somebody asks me a direct question, have you ever done this? Then I'll own that. Like, I did that.
Yeah.
And mama has lived.
Yeah.
I've done some things. And if you're smart, you might want to. I'm like, that mean I'm experienced, dog. I'm trying to enlighten your life.
Exactly.
And that's why I say, like, for me, I don't necessarily I don't regret anything I do. And if you can't handle the answer, then you're probably not the person I should be with anyway. So that starts to weed out, like, oh, I can see that you're a little weak minded. Exactly. I can see that you're going to be that insecure type of dude. Every time I go to the store, you're like, "Is a nigga at the store?" So
Exactly.
Yo, I used to be him back in my late teens and early 20s.
Yeah.
Like, just and that all comes from insecurities.
Right.
Like you say, like when a man is insecure about himself, when he's with a woman, he may feel the love, feel that they together, but he will be on her ass. It's a dude might be like, "Yo, what's up? What's up? Can you take
what
this
time
flyer or something?"
Excuse me,
you know
now.
what I mean?
Do you know what time the bus is coming? It's like, hey.
Yeah, the simplest shit.
She taking my
exactly.
man.
Like, yo, my
She's
man.
smoking for her.
Yo, my man, like, You know what I'm saying? Now it's a whole totally different situation if a dude were actually there, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I mean?
You can tell the difference.
Beautiful, you know what I'm saying? Like,
right.
you just want my hand on your ass. That's all you want.
But
like,
when you
oh,
looking
my
at
man,
the
like,
situation
chill.
with that
She with
insecure
somebody.
lens,
Yeah.
all you see is every time somebody talk to the person that you are loving on, then it's like, oh, you must want her because she's wonderful. I can see why you would want her. So of course you want her.
I'm not insecure about shit though. That's shit.
You never been. You never been. So that's what I'm saying.
Even when people used to say like okay, I speak this live. You know, the craziest time of my life is when I went through my separation and my divorce, and I lost weight, everything, right?
No, you had to glow up.
Lost about 40 pounds. No.
I was that depression.
But I didn't.
That's the glow.
You think you go?
I didn't lose it. I wasn't stressing because she didn't want to deal with me.
Yeah.
I really realized that I stressed. Everybody else thought that's what it was because I lost myself.
Exactly.
I lost myself, then found myself.
Write down that bitch number. I'm not my ass tonight.
We actually cool now.
And you absolutely
if you change your mind, me and my girlfriends can pull up.
I lost myself.
Yeah.
Not from because again, it was more so like, all right, I felt like I failed because a lot of marriages in my my mom and dad definitely did them part.
Right.
But a lot of marriages in my family, they go on forever. So I'm like, damn, why me? Well, I'm the one that had to fuck up.
Yeah.
Aww.
So I got so wrapped up in here.
Yeah.
You wasn't the only one,
that I just started.
Yeah.
Just
like
then
because it was almost like a personal failure and not your own personal failure. Not necessarily we weren't compatible. It was I broke a generational and am I broken because this is broken and I must have broke it because I'm broken.
And that's what happened. So then why I say that was also the best time of my life. Because that's when I got to meet the Lord.
Yeah.
Completely.
Yeah. Exactly.
And I really learned God. And that's why I had the gospel show.
Yeah.
That's why I had Nah, for real. All that tied together. I was DJing at my church.
Okay.
All that type of stuff. You see what I'm saying?
Look at God ordering your steps.
Yeah. But after that, it made me stronger than ever.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? So now, because of that whole time when I lost myself, I vowed to never lose myself again. Yeah. So even when stuff doesn't work out, I'll be like, okay, get up, keep it moving.
Yeah.
Because it's not that you're not hurt by it, or it's like when I see little stuff, because I no longer say, damn, I wanted that person better than me, or if she like him better than me, or that because you'll lose yourself.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Again, I'll never lose myself again.
I tell people all the time, if you constantly compare yourself with someone else, you'll never be better than that person that you're comparing yourself to.
Yeah.
You can only be the best that you could possibly be.
Right.
And if hindsight that's better than them or better than them, it doesn't matter.
And that's
who you can personally be.
And that's what, even though I don't necessarily fuck with him like this, but that's what made Donald Trump become president.
Exactly.
You understand what I'm saying?
Exactly. The carelessness of considering what anybody else feels about him.
Even though now they believe he about to get impeached.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That reckless confidence.
Yeah, that reckless confidence. But he used the law of attraction to get him there.
Yeah.
Exactly. That's all it is. He kept telling everybody, I'm gonna be the president. And like we once spoke about before, this whole wall thing, it's not all about keeping the Mexicans out. I told this, me and D had this conversation before. That wall is supposed to be his monument. He wants to be known as the president to put that motherfucking wall.
Exactly.
Oh, shoot.
So when he's gone,
and that wall is still standing. It's a Donald J. Trump wall.
Think about it.
And you know he write his name on everything.
It's
gonna be a gaudy ass gold wall.
Tell me this: how does anybody know how big that wall is supposed to be?
It's
like thick wise, because you know the only man-made thing that you can see from outer space is the Great Wall of China.
I don't think that they were even. First of all, they probably was gonna go to IKEA and get some bullshit materials. Like,
man, put that wood in that baby. You know what I mean? Give me that cigarette, man.
They don't even make materials like they used to. That's why the Great Wall of China is still standing.
Exactly.
That's why currently the 27th Street Bridge in South Philly is falling apart. And I'm sure it was. I'm sure that bridge came way after the Great Wall.
Way after the Great Wall.
So it's unrealistic. Number one, was always unrealistic, but because his base were racially motivated and electing him because they had to erase that, the black stain of the White House. So they had to hurry up and get any white person in here and someone who speaks what they consider their language because
he's just like me.
Okay. He speaks my language, we're like the same person.
But he also spoke what they really felt.
He was speaking what they felt.
Yeah. That's it.
But even though he wasn't going to, because once he got into office, a lot of his initiatives and executive orders had nothing to do with his white base and with the Southern base or what whoever voted for him thought it was going to be. Yeah. And even with like the 53% of white women that ended up voting for him, I'm like, bitch, did you notice that they closed on all the abortion clinics?
Exactly.
You see how when you go against your own interests, but you were so hyped to elect him. I don't know if it was a white thing or and then for real, Donald Trump has spent at least all of my life from my childhood building this brand of businessman, billion-dollar man. Who Donald Trump had been as far as a brand and successful businesses, we didn't know that all that shit was a facade until after he got into office.
Until he became president.
And then people started looking like, did you know Trump University didn't work?
Yeah.
Whatever happened to Trump steaks?
Yeah.
And did they ever pull off Trump water?
But it was,
and what's going on with the Trump Taj Mahal?
But the
bankruptcies.
Laws of attraction. That's it.
And brand building. He was the first brand ambassador. He wrote his name on all of those buildings. Buildings that he don't even own, but the common person might think, oh, it says Trump. Trump owns it, but it's like, no, he's leasing, he's licensing his name out to other companies.
May he rest in peace. You remember Charlie Marenko that worked with us?
Yes.
Right? Italian guy. All right?
Yeah, I remember Charlie.
I first started with Trenton Waterworks. I was 19 years old. So he started seeing me come to work with leather coats on. Remember, I used to have different. I had nice vehicles, had all the sneakers and shit. He didn't know I worked at the store as well, sneaker store as well. And what did he used to call me? Look at baby Trump.
Yeah,
remember that? Yeah, Ray, you got money, baby Trump. See,
Black
we always
fucked with Trump because his name was because of his brand. We didn't even realize because people weren't using the term "I'm building the brand" back then.
Guess who's the Black Trump?
Bill Gates, Donald Trump. Let me in now. How many rappers have been talking about Donald Trump? How many rap videos have you been in? Back in the day when you would see old footage of like at the Tunnel or any party in New York, Donald Trump was there. Whether he was like hobnobbing with politicians or kicking it with rappers. So Donald Trump built a wonderful. Even the whole Celebrity Apprentice, he's still you got a boss ass show where you the boss. So he had a boss ass brand for a minute, and it wasn't until he got elected and people started peeling back the layers like, is this nigga broke? He a piece of shit.
Not necessarily. He has money.
We know he got money. But what we saying is, he used the facade.
Oh, he used his name.
But he never mentioned that because what part of his brand was self-made millionaire. When he used to specifically pay tabloids or people like reporters and stuff like that to report on him in New York, he would specify self-made. So that was one of his brands that people bought into. Like, wow, he got it from the muscle. He bought his first building and just kept building from there. And it's like.
Yeah, but you forget.
Your father gave you like $400 million.
That's what I'm saying. People forget that.
People didn't know that. That wasn't part of his brand, though. People didn't know that, again, until you started peeling back the layers. But we never had a reason to peel back his layers because, number one, I was young. I was hip-hop. I believed you were who you said you were because that's what young hip-hop is.
And that's what it was.
And we was fucking with him. So I'm like, all right, well, he a billionaire then.
Yeah.
And it wasn't until he became or at least started running for president and had to start giving speeches. Because remember, we never used to really hear this nigga talk. At best, he would say you're fired. And we thought that shit was fire.
We thought it was cool.
So it was once he started talking, he was like, is this nigga talking?
This nigga's ignorant.
Did he just say that's my African American?
But this leads me to this. With all this impeachment talk, do you believe it's really going to happen? Like, where does it stand? Like,
yes. I believe they're going to go through with the process. Will it happen? Who knows?
How long? And Kiki, you may know the answer to this question. One of y'all might know. How long does it take for a whole impeachment process to happen?
Honey, it is taking too goddamn long. I'm about to call somebody up like, Nancy. Hey, Nancy.
Because technically this
Get on it, bitch, damn.
Ain't this his last year starting January?
Yeah, this is that. Honestly, this whole impeachment process will go well beyond his first term.
Right.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
and it really depends on what the charges are, how much evidence they have to present, how many people have to testify.
Yeah.
So there's no real timeline because it felt like with Bill Clinton, it got kind of dragged out.
Yeah.
But it was only one issue, one woman. Did you obstruct the office? And everybody was pissed off about that.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, ain't nobody said
he got his dick sucked.
Yeah,
That's all right.
yeah.
he was the president.
But-
I think he should have been getting his dick sucked.
But
by
that's
the
when he
office.
should have lied. He did.
He
though.
did lie.
Yeah. See,
and
he
that's
touches that.
Yeah. But still,
I wouldn't have lied though. If I was the president, I'm like, let that bitch suck my dick in the whole office.
Like,
I'm the
believe me.
goddamn president.
I've been getting my dick sucked since 1968.
You know what I mean?
Yo, but
I know niggas with way less jobs and position that be doing the most.
she ain't leaving the.
All he
like,
was getting
you like
was-
this bitch suck your dick.
I'm just saying, but what I'm saying is this: not knowing how long, like we know that's going to go that long, leads me to the next question because you said it's going to go beyond this.
They haven't even announced, hey, this guy is thinking about running for, and he's a Republican. Like, you see how it's like a whole lineup. The Democratic team look like a fucking football party.
Yeah.
Like, it look like a
They
whole
running
football
out.
team.
Yeah.
Like, everybody in there is running for president right now. But the Republicans has cleared a way for him. I don't think anyone is going to contest him on the Republican side.
I don't.
Period.
I don't think they want the fact that the Democrats just want him out.
Yeah.
I just feel like the Democrats believe that any of them could beat him because the country is so fucked
Yeah,
up.
but
they
they
need
believed
to
that
stop
last
putting-
time.
They gotta
Yeah.
stop thinking like that.
And first, Hillary should have won. Hillary definitely should have won. And in hindsight, because if you listen to some of our past shows, I'm from the Almost Famous show. In case y'all ever look me up, ask about me. So, but Hillary technically, out of every president that has ever been president in the history of the United States, she was the most qualified. She spent 8 years in the White House as the first lady.
True.
She was a senator. She was the Secretary of the State. It was the Secretary of State.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, so and she was already a lawyer before she even
She's
became the
intelligent.
first lady. So by all means, Hillary should have gotten the election. I don't think that the United States was actually ready for a female president.
I think they wasn't ready for a female president. Number one, and number two,
people ain't like her.
they definitely a lot of people didn't like her. Number two, and number three, I think they wanted a non-politician for once. Because Trump is.
Yeah,
But what happened to
Trump
all
not
that
a
fucking
politician.
shit they was talking when Barack Obama was running?
Yeah.
And because but where's his political experience? It's as if he wasn't already a senator in Illinois.
That's what I'm saying.
However, but they was all the celebrity president. Look at him. He's hanging with Jay-Z. He's
Yeah.
hanging with Beyonce.
But-
But as soon as Donald Trump run, who is a bona fide celebrity
Yeah.
and a socialite
just said
and
it.
borderline of Instagram
You
thought.
just said it.
Yeah.
Like,
just said it.
now it's
He
all
a
good.
Twitter-
He a Twitter thought.
Yeah.
You just said it.
Twitter
It's because it was Barack Obama.
Exactly. They was like, did he wear a tan suit?
But
oh
he
my God.
never. But Trump never held a political office in anything else, did he?
yeah.
Never.
But
That's what I'm
let
saying.
me tell you.
So they
Never.
wanted a non-politician because everybody we all feel like we could run this country.
Yeah, but still in all, but even
I don't
with Trump,
feel like running this
even-
country.
I don't want to.
even
either.
with Trump, right? You got to remember what Trump is like. You know, he sold his brand. You feel what I'm
Right.
saying? Like they built Atlantic City, so
But then also left it destitute.
But that true. But you got to think about what he did. Trump is heavy before any other stuff. Since social media is out and all that, Trump
Yeah.
was heavy in the analytics.
Yeah.
So he'll pick up. He'll look at the information and see where he needs to go in order to touch the soul of the country, the majority of the country. What's the majority of the country? The majority of the country are middle class white people. You see what I'm saying? That's the majority of the country. So if I can get elected and I can say everything you want to say,
Yeah.
and I can say that I can do everything that you want to do in a semi-political manner, you're going to vote for me.
Yeah.
That's where the feeling of he's just like me
He's
comes
just like
from.
yeah.
But he's not.
Same way we felt about Obama.
That man is a billionaire.
What, that we thought he was just like me?
He was just like
I
us.
never thought he was just like. I always thought that he was like the creme de la creme. I'm like, oh, that's that talented Tiff that the boys was talking about.
I did to a certain extent
I always knew he was
because
exceptional.
because he listened to rap music and played basketball.
but
That's what you found a way to relate to him.
right, and not that I didn't
That's
relate
what
to
you
him. I
did.
did feel like he was just like me in the sense of we black. We come from poor or impoverished situations, and we rose up, went to college, all that good stuff. First in our generation. Like I did feel like in that aspect, I can relate to his rise to stardom or rise to fame.
All it was for me was basketball and rap music.
That's all you needed. That's all I needed. Yeah. But I think with him in particular, because when you start looking into like how he was conceived, the way his family structure was, the fact that his mom used to like wake him up at 5 a.m. and to make him start school before school, the fact that he traveled the world before he was even in high school. Yeah, it was certain things that he's again one of those outliers. Like it was certain things that the stars was aligned in a particular way to make this child into this man, into this president.
And he was very educated.
Yeah,
and it wasn't like he was running off our previous. Nothing wrong with these guys. Previous black leaders who tried to run. He wasn't running off a brand name like Jesse Jackson,
right?
Which was a brand to us,
right?
And Al Sharpton talk about it at one time. You know what I mean?
I'm like Al Sharpton. You don't even tell me what's in your hair. How am I believe what's in your? How am I believe what's in your platform?
So, tell me all that chub.
Because to be honest with you,
skinny bastard,
we didn't really start.
Why your hair still so thick?
Yeah,
we didn't really start paying attention to Barack until in the Democrat, like who was going to lead the Democrats. He started picking up so much steam. We was like, and I'm gonna keep it real. This how the average black house, excuse me, Mr. President, but they was sitting there like, he started talking. He said this and that. He said, "Wait a minute, I like this nigga. He's shutting all these motherfuckers up. This nigga nice."
He had all the white people like,
and then, because I remember seeing he shut Joe Biden smooth the fuck down.
Yeah. He did,
right? Mm-hmm. But then he said he wanted Joe to run with him. And I love all the Joe Biden and Obama memes. Them shits is hilarious.
Shit, Joe ended up not even being who the fuck we thought he was.
Yeah, exactly.
That's another story for another time. He on a no malarkey tour. Like, what the fuck is that? But go ahead.
But truthfully, that year, when he won in 2008, we believed that Hillary was going to win then. It was supposed to be Hillary's turn then. They was talking about the first woman president then. But Barack started picking up so much numbers.
Yeah.
And they was like, nah, this is the guy.
Because what they didn't plan, they were trying to appeal to the black vote, and they were appealing to like adults. Yeah. Where Barack kicked ass was, first he was using the internet where nobody else was. And that was another reason. It was like, oh, look at the celebrity president.
Yeah.
When this nigga Trump tweeting right now as we speak.
Yeah.
But anyway, he used social media for the first time and he gained the youth, because a lot of kids, especially like, I think at the time I was like in my 20s, and a lot of people that I know that were like in between 18 and like, let's say between 18 to 20 or 18 to 30 had become like kind of disillusioned with the whole politics. Yeah. I don't really understand it. I don't really care right now. I'm young. I'm riding around and I'm getting it. So I don't really care about who's about to be the president, because it don't really affect me. Yeah. And I think for me, I need to become more politically involved happened when George W. Bush got into office. And I was like, because I was 18 at the time, and I could have voted, but I was away from home. I was in school. Yeah. So once I saw how they stole it, I was like, all right, I think that was part of the battery in our back as that age group at that time. Then it was Barack. And Barack had a little bit of swag on him. He had the low-cut Caesar with the deep waves.
Had a
walk. Right, he had a little walk on him. Michelle came out, they fist bumping. I'm like, oh, his chick is cool.
She had a little fat ass on her.
Then we found out she went to Harvard too, right?
Yeah.
Like they were the real life Cosbys. Every time we watched the Cosby Show, rest in peace to Bill Cosby's legacy. But every time we watched the Cosby Show, we saw that there was this black doctor and his beautiful black wife who's also intelligent, and she's a lawyer, and they have this beautiful family, and they're affluent, and they're still black because they're still into jazz, and they're still into their culture and their heritage. They were the shit, that could really happen.
And then you seen that. But now that you bring up the Cosby Show, you know what I mean?
I feel.
Yeah.
Hold on. Before y'all jump out of there.
I gotta feel bad. Every
Before y'all jump out of that whole situation.
Like,
let me tell you something about Barack. Barack was his whole leadership quality was amazing. His whole swag was amazing.
Yeah.
That's what everybody liked about Barack.
Yeah.
That's what made his foreign policy so amazing.
or forgivable. It depends on who you ask.
Exactly.
Yeah, we all know that too.
That's what it does.
He did some shit.
He did a lot
There
of
was
shit.
a lot of drones going on.
But that's what I'm
It's a
saying.
lot of shit.
We
That's
got
what
some
I'm saying.
slinging to do.
That's what made it, because those decisions that he had to make,
Right.
they were accepted because of who he was.
Exactly.
You see what I'm saying? So,
But that's life.
but with the economy, the economy started spiraling down. Everybody is saying, "Nah," you know what I'm saying?
Listen.
The economy went.
That's
Now with Trump, dollars going up.
Yeah.
But his foreign policy is trash, and the reason
Because as far as policy, it's a
and
shakedown.
the reason
He
his
telling
foreign-
these niggas out, yo, get down and lay down,
and
Ukraine.
that's
all
the
of
reason
that.
why he's in the inquiry. But then, with that being said, his foreign policy seems to be more honest than any other president I've seen.
Yeah.
Even though his inquiry is what's, even though the inquiry against him is the reason that he's about to be impeached or whatever, but when he pulled all the troops out of Afghanistan, a couple of his cabinet members left. Why was that? Because they were afraid of the repercussions that can happen to them. This is one of the repercussions.
Well,
He's trying to be honest as far as foreign policy goes, and it's making him look like he doesn't know what he's doing.
He doesn't know what he's doing
Exactly.
because there's policies and protocols in place and checks and balances and shit.
But-
so I think because he does not know what he's doing,
exactly.
it is honest because he doesn't know. Hey, you're supposed to be lying as a
Yeah.
politician,
But what
as a
y'all-
president.
What
I
y'all
don't.
saying?
You're never supposed to tell the masses the whole
What y'all
truth.
actually saying is, and y'all said a mouthful, y'all just described the world. You can even go away from politics. See, you heard the saying before, you only get one time to make a first impression, right? But it's true to a certain extent. You only get one time to make a first impression, and whenever you do what you're doing. So here's the thing. Barack got away with what he got away with because
of his personality.
Because of his personality.
You love him. You
That's
love
just
his
like
leadership quality.
That's just like a lot of people, except Jay-Z and the NFL. And I understood what he was saying, and a lot of people didn't. But most of them did because it was Jay-Z. You see what I'm saying? Beyonce could do a lot of different shit, and
She's beyond reproach. She's the queen.
yeah, see what I'm saying? And that, but what it is it's the impression that you leave on life. Period.
But that's what
So
politics really are when you vote for the
everything,
because
because most people don't pay attention.
Right.
They pay attention to the impression that the person is leaving.
Yeah.
But just before we exit this politics situation, I just want to ask y'all one question. Do y'all vote?
Yes.
Do you vote?
When
I
give you a
owe it
chance
to my
to,
ancestors
Yeah.
to vote because of how hard they fought, struggled, and died for me to have the right to.
That's a great
So even
reason
if I
to
don't
vote.
believe that there's going to be a real voice behind my vote, I'm going to go to the
Vote.
fucking polls because my ancestors did.
Because they fought, and you say when you have time.
When I
to.
get the chance.
All right. What y'all think is the most important? When is to vote? Like me personally, I think our local areas are the most important because you got to make the change
Yeah.
where you at first to branch out.
Yeah.
But a lot of people only vote when there's a president running.
Because people don't realize
they
that
don't
the
understand.
important people don't. First of all, people don't understand politics or how
Exactly.
politics work for the most part, and people don't understand your governor is basically the president of your state.
Yeah.
So your governor can move autonomously.
Yeah.
And the president ain't got nothing to do with that. Like that's
Yeah.
why a lot of the a lot of the laws or a lot of the abortion clinics that were closing, it was on the state level. Like the
Yeah.
governor shut it down.
Exactly.
So because of checks and balances and things like that, the president can't just step up to the state like, all right, we said we're going to do it this way.
Yeah.
So people don't realize how important your governor is. And that's why a lot of times states get screwed, and the inner city in particular might get screwed because a lot of the state elections can be swayed if the black inner cities really came out and voted on the local level.
Yeah.
Then you might be able to shape the judicial, not the judicial system. I hate you for that.
That is judicial system.
Not, I know that's not the judicial system,
Yeah.
but you will be able to shape those civil, like on the civil level courts, like your traffic court, your family courts, and things like that. So you can actually start to mold the country into the prison reform that you want it to be if you start being more cognizant of my local elections and how important they are.
Your city council has a lot to do.
Exactly.
Yes.
But the
do.
problem is with a lot of our councils, people vote for the people either they know them or the impression they left.
Exactly.
Right. Like,
And
even
that's
when I didn't
the
know any
world.
better, I would go, like, say I'm going to go vote, especially like in my younger, I'm now being able to vote years.
Yeah.
So I don't know who the fuck to vote for.
Nah.
Look, I don't know who my mayor is now. I just
Exactly.
recently moved to, I say recently, it's been like 2 years.
Yeah.
Moved to Wilmington, who the fuck is, who's the mayor? I don't know.
I don't know who my mayor is too, because I live in Willowboro.
But for the
now.
longest time-
I don't know.
I don't know. But I feel like I'm
I
good,
think
so I don't need to
yeah,
know.
me too.
But anyway.
I don't know who.
You don't know? You don't read it? Bert
But-
Steinman, I think.
Bert
is
Steinman?
Look at us being whole
Oh, yeah,
hypocrites.
no.
But we don't have that issue. We talk about people in Philly because apparently y'all crime situation is out of control.
You know who Trenton mayor is.
I don't know.
Yeah, just like I know who Trenton mayor is because that's where we from.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But we just don't live there no more. That's
Right, because
all
I
it
keep
is.
up with Philly politics because
All
I'm in
day.
Philadelphia.
Exactly.
So, you know,
Yeah.
as long as I could, I still voted in Philly.
Yeah.
But anyway, but I was always guilty of, like, when I walk up to the polls and they'll hand me that list of, here's the list of Democrats, because first of all, they would assume that I was a Democrat because I was black.
Yeah.
Even though I was a Democrat.
Yeah.
But
Yes.
I was just like, oh, okay, who you want me to vote for? Okay, check.
Yeah, check. Yeah.
I don't know who this bitch is, but you said she good. Oh, she on this ticket?
Yeah.
I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about.
Yep.
Oh, her right here on this
Yep.
ballot.
Check.
All right.
Yeah, that's it.
So I was always guilty of that. And I think with the last elections, and especially, like, again, getting older and realizing how politics actually will affect me, because I really did. I really believed, especially when you black, you grew up in the inner city. I really did believe that politics happened outside of me.
Yeah.
Like, they're molding white America. They're making sure Main Street America is good. Nobody's checking for the hood. So that's why I really wasn't invested in politics, because I really didn't see the how would this benefit me.
Yeah.
So it wasn't until I started getting older and realized, like, oh shit, this judge that been sitting on this bench in my neighborhood or the jail or prison or courts that the young men from my neighborhood being sent into. Yeah. Later on, you find out, oh, you was accepting bribes from the prison system,
Exactly.
and all this time I could have voted you out, but I was too lazy or stupid or ignorant to go to the polls.
Exactly.
So that's when I started getting involved.
You got to pay attention to cities like Philly, like Trenton, who live close to any type of bodies of water. You got to pay attention to it. And because what it does, too, water is a high topic for real estate. When real estate is good in your city, you got people that may come in who don't really care about the town. They just want the land. They just want the real estate.
Yeah.
So right now in Trenton, which runs along the Delaware River just like Philly does, this mayor that's in now, it's the first Caucasian mayor we had since the 80s, because Doug Palmer started being the mayor in 90.
Yeah.
And when Palmer, Tony Mack, Palmer was the mayor for 20 years. He was the mayor 20 years in our city, right?
Damn.
20 long years.
You can do that?
Yeah, you
Yes.
can be the mayor.
You keep going with the mayor.
Yeah.
There's no
Really?
cap. They've been talking about over the years making it 2 terms like a president.
Should I run for mayor?
I thought about that before.
Let's do
tell
it.
you. I thought about that shit a lot of
2020.
time. So, yeah, I
Key
thought
and E 2020.
Yeah, I thought about it. But what I've learned about why it's easy, you can
I'm running
almost
for mayor.
yeah, you can, but you just got to make sure your local area.
Bad receipts, like,
The biggest thing is making sure your local area
Not the
know
way
that
you was
you
acting in
understand
2014.
politics.
Yeah.
You got to be able to talk to the governor, which is the president of your state.
Yeah.
Like we just said, have a relationship with him. And that's why certain people who believe, I'm not going to say no names, in our hometown, oh, he would have won mayor if they would have came out and voted. But really what it is it's still the same people putting you in these titles. But what's his relationship with the governor? He can tell you all day he know the governor, but will he be able to get finances from the state? Because it's certain things like in Trenton, like fire department, that only runs off of grants. Every time that grant ain't there, these guys is making these big salaries, and shout out to them because I did the academy for 1 week and then I said fuck it. But they get all their money from grants. Now taxes pays for the police and the teachers. When you don't know that, and then you wonder why a town, why is the taxes going up in Trenton? Because with crime going up, right? And we need more cops because crime's going up. What the fuck they gonna get to pay the overtime to pay the money from the taxpayers? when we're trying to build better schools, we just got a brand new school in Trenton. Where the money gonna come from?
Yeah.
Taxes. So that's why all the shit go up. But then you look at your house. Let's say this shit not worth. But that's a whole different thing. Different thing. I think we talked about these motherfucking politics enough. You know what I mean?
I know politics are depressing.
Yeah. You know, so I just want to just say some random off the wall shit. What you say happened with Drake?
Oh,
Everybody loves Drake. I just want to know.
Yeah, Drake. Spotify named Drake as the most streamed artist of the decade.
10 years.
10 years.
So from 2010 to 2020 is what they're saying.
People been streaming Drake on Spotify for the last 10 years.
Yeah.
Man.
That's dope.
Yeah.
And that's crazy once they switched everything
Who
over
introduced you to Drake?
when they switched everything, when they started allowing you to get paid officially from streams, like
He ain't gonna get your prize.
Let's just be honest.
Yeah.
I know when I hear a star.
Yeah, Drake was cool.
I pulled up to
Well,
my
you're a DJ. You should have.
I pulled up. I
music.
said, I came to his job. I said, this motherfucker right here. I ain't say he the best ever, but he gonna be the fucking future.
But his
Did I say that?
Yeah. You say.
I said that about him.
Yeah.
I said that about Meek. I said that about
Big Sean.
I said Big Sean, but Big Sean ain't pan out the way I thought he was.
Yeah, Big Sean.
We
he's
definitely
a big artist though.
Yeah. Oh, he's big up. We no. Who we really said, especially you, motherfucking Kendrick Lamar.
Yeah,
that's my favorite.
Yeah, and I said J. Cole as well.
Yeah.
That's it.
Oh yeah.
I said that as well years ago, and that shit all came to fruition because you could just hear it in them.
But now that you named those two, because when we first brought up the topic of Drake being the most streamed artist in the last decade, which I can believe because of all his hits and because of his mass appeal, like he's crossed over, he's commercial, he's mainstream, he's the culture, he's hip hop, he's R&B, he's pop. So I can believe, especially with that Hotline Bling, if he wasn't before that Hotline Bling shit took him over the top.
Yeah.
I think Drake is one of the best artists to come out recently.
Yeah.
He is in that top tier of the
I was
Kendrick,
shocked a little bit though.
Cole. But the only reason I wasn't shocked is because I think Kendrick is the better lyricist and has the better songs, but music is subjective. Yeah. But I don't think Kendrick has Drake got the girls and the guys.
No, but here's what I was shocked about. It didn't say number one hip hop artist. It just said number one stream.
Because everybody fucks with Drake.
I thought
grandparents listen to Drake.
I thought
babies listen to Drake.
Honestly, I'm not gonna lie. I was thinking more about Chris. I really thought Chris Brown.
Chris Brown. See, they didn't.
I
got a theory about Chris Brown.
About Chris.
Now, and I don't know if you know how
Chris is Mr. Hit. Like I don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
You want your song to blow? You can put Chris Brown or Drake on your shit. It's going to blow.
So here's my theory about Chris Brown, because you know how we were talking about like excusing someone's bad behavior or bad decisions because we fucks with the person, like a R. Kelly.
Yeah.
I still listen to TV2.com.
Yeah.
But anyway,
me too.
It's a classic.
It's a classic album.
But anyway, but I think as in human nature, we kind of we separate.
Roll around on the front.
That's my favorite song.
It is.
He come in hot.
Exactly.
I'm like, what is this?
But go ahead, say what you said. I'm sorry. We got
all right. So, now I don't know if my affection for Chris Brown is one of those situations where you're excusing someone's bad behavior because you love them somewhere, you fucks with them. But I fucking love Chris Brown, and I really think that he was on the verge of becoming like the next Michael Jackson. Yeah. Like when Beyonce is my girl. I fucks with Beyonce. I love everything she do, every dance she do, every song she sing. Mm-hmm. I think Chris Brown is the better performer, artist.
Oh yeah.
And Chris Brown can paint, he can act, he can play basketball, he can rap, he can sing, he can write a song. Like when I say this is the most talented person walking the face of the earth right now, I can't think of not one person. I think Jamie Foxx is a close second.
Oh, that's
because that's another person that got multiple talents and a master of all his trades.
Yes.
But I don't think white people was gonna let another Michael Jackson anomaly happen. Because Michael Jackson, and I really think that I think Chris Brown was shut down because how many artists or athletes or entertainers have we known to beat the shit out of their girlfriend or wife?
And
on camera, knock this bitch clean the fuck out and drop an album next week, or run the foot. I don't know the term. Hit a home run.
You know what?
So I really think Chris Brown was deliberately stopped, and every time they have an article about Chris Brown. Even to this day, they'll say back in 2000, like they can be talking about all the stuff he's doing. Chris Brown's about to drop an album. It's going to be monumental. It's going to be 45 songs. He about to break streaming records possibly. But back in 2007, they always bring it up. Always. Fabulous just allegedly knocked Emily's teeth out.
Yeah.
That's allegedly.
I said allegedly, but when we talk about Fabulous,
you ain't seen the video when he said he's gonna shoot her.
He meant that shit.
He meant that shit. He said he told you gonna shoot her.
Nowhere do you see, and even so, Rihanna forgave Chris Brown. They got back together at least twice after that incident.
Yeah.
So I really think Chris Brown's deliberately shut down. And I think that's another reason that he started getting built up to be like, oh, look at him, he's so angry. But it's like, first of all, he's a young man, and he's taking this whole charge on the chin because for real, that fight was 50-50. But he's trying to save her ass out in these streets. Because if it wasn't 50-50, then why the fuck she back with him and to dare anybody to say anything to her about
you know what?
So
you know what? You got a strong point. Go ahead.
I really think he was shut down. I think it was deliberate. And they didn't want another Michael Jackson. Because Michael Jackson was the most famous person on the face of the earth without social media.
Yeah, but Michael Jackson, I mean, he's an artist. He's different. And then Chris Brown is an artist. But Chris Brown
got Michael beat on the artistry side.
Yeah, he does. Because Chris Brown is also a producer and a writer and stuff like that. You know what I mean? Like,
to a certain extent, he don't write everything.
Well, he don't write everything, but he writes for other people, too.
Right.
He'll go in there and he's
create. And do other,
you know what I'm saying? So he's more or less like Mike. Oh, Mike was writing that shit.
He wasn't.
So
Ron Temperton.
So with all that being said, you got Chris Brown. He's doing this thing, and he can, even if they do shut him down. You see what I'm saying? But I know what you're saying as far as the world seeing him as a Michael Jackson. Nah.
Chris
and I don't
Brown
even know where that came.
Did
that come from Casanova? Did that come from Casanova saying that I think he's better than Michael Jackson?
No.
Where did that comparison come
I'm going to
from?
tell you when the tide turned for Chris Brown. Because at first Chris Brown was like this cute little, look at Chris Brown, cute little singer dude, cute little dancer dude. The tide turned for him. It was a VMA performance. And he was jumping from... that's when the world noticed this person is the fuck different.
Yeah, I know he did.
Everybody knows it that night.
Mike, and he did all that. But recently, I've been hearing that come up way too much. You feel what I'm saying? And then from the interviews that I'm hearing, and I just heard Casanova say, "Yo, he's better than Mike." And when they was basically asking him when he came from the "I'm So Brooklyn" challenge. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So, you know what I mean? Recently, just from hearing the kids and all that talk about that he's better than Michael Jackson. Here's the thing.
I believe
when you talk about
better,
I don't believe he's better than Mike. Mike is Mike. His legacy is set in fucking gold because he's is who he is and he's gone.
Yeah.
Like Chris Brown is Chris Brown. Wherever his career goes, he's going to be Chris Brown. If you compare him, he's better than Mike. He's this, he's that. Mike is Mike.
I just feel like it's not about a comparison of who better, but I feel like what else boosted Mike so much is at that time in that realm of what Mike was doing. They've never seen anybody else.
Yeah, exactly.
Like
what show was that?
The only
Mike
closest
Motown 25.
That's what makes Prince stand out as well too, because we've never seen
but the thing is
nothing else like this motherfucker, and them two didn't like each other.
I hear that was a rumor.
The Michael and Prince remember Jay-Z said that shit? Yeah. No, they really didn't to a certain extent.
Yeah,
they had a lot of creative differences.
Right.
So it's like if they probably try to do a song together. And Prince said you should do it this way because Prince was the better writer.
Yeah, Prince was the writer.
You know that,
right? Yeah. Right.
And Mike, like, bitch, I am Mike.
And but Mike also had the ear for music too. Like Michael felt music, and I think that's the part that made Michael
he used to go to Teddy
up
Riley.
the way he did.
Yo, he used to go to Teddy Riley because what Teddy Riley was saying, some of those producers couldn't recreate what Mike was when Mike used to beatbox, like, doing all that. Teddy Riley would take his voice and put it to a beat.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So
Teddy Riley is a national treasure, by the way.
Of course he had the ear for it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
But see, I seen an interview with Teddy Riley too, now that you bring him up. I think it was Pharrell was sitting there. It was a couple other producers. And he said, y'all all have your own genre of music. He said, y'all, you got your sound, you got your sound, you got your sound. The only thing I did different with mine is I named it.
Exactly.
The New Jack Swing.
Facts.
He said,
just blew my mind because now that I think about it,
you
know what Neptune's beat when you hear it. You know what Timberland beat when you hear it. Yeah.
He said, I just named my genre. Exactly. See, and really, that's why it was sad what happened with the Throne album, because the Throne album with Jay and Kanye, they were supposed to begin to start a new genre of music. It wasn't just because if you listen to it, it almost sounded like a hip hop album, then it sounded like a rock album somewhat. And so they were trying to start a whole new genre. It wasn't just us. Think about it. They could do an album like that every fucking week if they wanted to.
Yeah.
Especially now, people dropping EPs. They don't. If Jay-Z and Kanye West is in the creative spirit, they could do 5 songs in 5 hours together.
Yeah, if Kanye would come back to Earth.
No, if he was not now. I'm talking about at that time when he was the throne with Kanye. But you know what I mean. Back
I'm about
then,
to say I don't think he live here anymore.
I say bipolar.
Yeah.
I mean,
aren't we all?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, I am. When I don't get no rest.
Completely level-headed.
Get rest.
And the thing about it is, I mean, he says
think
that's
I
his
suffer from
creative.
multiple
That's his creative
personality
juice. That's his
disorder.
creative talent. Bipolar. I mean, but what I think Kanye is doing, usually you hear a lot from Kanye. When that album about to come out.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Well, he could keep that album. He could have kept the last one too.
Yeah. But I haven't been the biggest Kanye fan.
I barely listen to that.
I haven't been the biggest Kanye fan in a long time.
Yeah.
You feel what I'm saying? Like, but what he does is Kanye knows how to promote his. What he's doing, he's not stupid. That's a millionaire. If he tell you he went broke, bankrupt, he was asking people for money. That's promotion.
Yeah.
That's promotion. That's relatable promotion to the person like who. Yo, I had to ask for money before. I'm Kanye and I'm still asking for money. I'm still with you.
Right.
Like he's different.
But let me ask you this, because we started this with the streams and all that. We talked about a lot of great, artists. And before we wrap this, up.
I was about to say.
Yeah, before we wrap this up, just a question. Who do y'all think will be next streamed as the decade? We all like on our way out. Who do you think?
Shit, I don't know.
Like, what artists you think made
what
now?
the stream decade?
It's gonna be hard to guess because they probably starting with 20 to 30, so the artist may not be here yet.
Right.
But let's just say if they went from 15 to 25, 2015 to 2025. Yeah.
I don't know who's the bigger artist right now. Who looks like they picking up steam like that?
I'm just saying. Do you know?
I don't know. I mean, I just listen to music in general now. I really don't see that big artist.
I got a person, but I think people gonna think I'm crazy or just dick riding. But I think that person from 15 to 25 would be Cardi if Cardi continues on the road that she's on. Every song on her first album went platinum. Every song on its own. Yeah. Like, she is breaking records that dudes wasn't even doing. Yeah. And Cardi got the heart of the culture. She got the heart of the people. She got Pepsi commercials. Like, if Cardi keeps doing what she's doing, how she's doing it, and if she can drop another album that's comparable to Invasion of Privacy, she's next.
I agree. Because I can't really see another big artist right now. If we look over the last year or so, I guess the biggest male artist to his own extent has to been Nipsey Hussle, but of course we're not gonna hear nothing else from him.
Kendrick might be able to be the next too.
Kendrick is probably a great.
But the only reason that Cardi might excel past him is because guys listen to Cardi, girls listen to Cardi, and girls listen to songs over and over and over and over and over.
And also she makes music for the club.
Yep.
And Kendrick makes music of what he feels.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah. So, but he has the talent to be.
He has the talent, and he has the critical acclaim because no other rap artist had the Pulitzer Prize. And he deserved every bit of that Pulitzer Prize because that album is phenomenal. The first time I heard DNA, I got goosebumps. I was like, damn,
yes.
I haven't gotten goosebumps from rap in a long time.
He's that guy. He's that guy.
So if not Kendrick, and again, only because Kendrick is one, and I do think. I guess it depends on what vibe I'm on because on the lyrical level, Damn was the better album. But when it came to like, this is for my nasty hoes, like it depends on what type of mood I was in. Because sometimes, all's my life I had to fight. And then sometimes you don't hit my line no more. You don't make it ring, ring, ring. So I guess it depends on what type of, what type of energy I'm feeling that day. But his Damn album didn't hit all those points that her album did. Because she's hitting those numbers that matter, she's next.
That's what it is.
But Drake is the one that made sense.
Yeah.
Drake is the one that makes sense.
He spreads across all the boards.
Yeah, because your grandma listened to Drake.
Yeah.
Everybody listened to Drake.
Well, this has been the Untitled Podcast. We say Menage a Pod.
Menage Pod.
Menage a Pod. I am DJ E, Mr. Influential. Y'all can sign out. I appreciate this. I like this.
You like
I
this,
like
sweetie?
this. I like this. Tell them who y'all is.
Well, it's your boy DKL, you know what I'm saying? You already know where you can catch me, DKL Music, DKELMUZIK. I'm signing off for the Menage a Pod, Untitled, you know what I'm saying? You know what it is, baby.
Maybe we should let the people decide.
Yeah,
like, should we be Untitled or should we be Menage a Trois? Menage a Trois. Look at me. So now y'all know what I do on Saturdays.
Either way, somebody's getting fucked.
As long as I'm involved.
I'm Kanisha signing off for the Untitled / Menage a Pod, depending on what y'all tell us. Thanks for tuning in. Hope to hear from y'all. See y'all again.
Bye-bye.
HipHop 19.